How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions. And of course, I'm the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back. And these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to ignite the power within. Okay, so I was thinking about like the video that I just uploaded yesterday, how I was feeling down in the dirt. And, you know, I popped myself out of it, right? And I think that what came to me and what I wanted to get across to you guys is what are you doing that's igniting that power? And that power to me is literally like, we must be something special as human beings because we're spiritual beings, right? We must be special if we can actually think of something, say it, and then create it, right? That means that we're creators. If we're creators, doesn't that sound like we're God? Maybe gods? Deities? And if we're all deities, then we must be connected to God, right? So how do we ignite that power within, right? I feel like everything that's on this platform right now, or a lot of things, make it where things are so much easier, right? Everything's more accessible. Whatever you want is it's literally in your pocket. So we don't even have to go out and do it anymore, man. Like, you don't even have to go out on it. You don't have to go out to a place to go find a mate, right? People don't call each other. And then especially what's going on these days, you know, with the I don't even want to say the word, but whatever the sickness that's going around, you know, it only makes us more antisocial, right? And so why do I say all this? I say this because I feel like for me, right? Like I'll be in my room and watching Netflix, and I feel like that is like a creation killer, right? It's like I'm utilizing, yeah, like I think that everything is good in portions, but I'm not the only one, man. I know that there's people out there too, right? Our lives have become so simple, and I just remember a lot of the times in the past thinking how mundane this life is, right? And literally, you guys, I believe that is our own fault, right? Yeah, we might have bought into it, and that is something that we bought into, but it's our fault it's our faults at the end of the day. So I say, going back to the same subject that I started with, is how do we ignite that power within? And I say it starts with the small things. You got to get happy about something. Happiness or contentment or joy, those are high vibrational feelings, right? Or yeah, I would say feelings. And so how do we get to those high vibrational feelings, right? I remember this example, and I came up with this one when I was thinking about it when I thought about this subject. I remember that there was this guy, and you know, back in the day, like I'd make fun of people, right? So like I know how it is to be on the dark side of this, right? Like I'm not an angel. I am an angel, but I haven't always acted like it, right? So I remember this guy who was like a lot older. And I don't know if you guys remember, I'll probably age myself right now, but if you guys remember Pogs and Slammers, and if you don't know what it is, look it up. Look up Pogs and Slammers. So they used to come in like, okay, so like we all know the Mary Jane containers, right? They used to hold these Pogs in them, and they're like papers, but like they're like thin papers. And what you do is you put them in a stack, right? And then someone else puts their stack on top of it. And then they have like heavy metal slammers. And sometimes they're plastic, depending on how much money you're going to spend, right? And then you hit the stack, and whatever flips over is yours. So you can end up taking other people's Pogs. The cool thing about this is the Pogs came in like different flavors, right? Like I remember like when I was a kid, I had Power Rangers. And I just remember like there was like Monster Slammers and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about the drink Monster. I'm talking about like there was like a brand called Monster. And as you can tell, I'm at 34 years old, right? And so who am I to judge, right? Like I remember this guy. And this is what I mean. Like igniting the power within is getting excited about the small things, right? And to this guy, it was the coolest thing in the world to him, right? Like, he had cases of those cases, which are different colors for different brands. He like categorized it. He had like little carry bags. He had all of them separated perfectly, right? And you could tell this guy, it brought him joy and love. And I think the reason why, I know why I was jealous when I looked at him, right? Because my first thought was, man, how old is this guy, right? And that's you guys, this is the darkness. That's the darkness that creeps in all of us, right? We want to snuff out the child in all of us. And I say the only way that you get joy and contentment is when you bring that inner child out. And so I feel like that, because like a kid, man, they get angry, they get joy and happiness. Like they can barely keep it in, right? So like, I say that, like, if you can embrace that inner child, that's when joy comes about. But I remember seeing that, like, and I knew that I was broken inside, right? And so when I saw that joy in that guy, it brought me envy. And but that's like a whole different subject, right? That's the past. We're in the present, and in the present, I know. And if I find myself in a situation where I do something like that, what do? I make sure that I address it. I address it right when it's happening. And if I don't address it right away, I'll do it eventually, right? Because it's contingent on my spiritual journey to what? To constantly make an inventory of my day, my weeks, and my months. That's something that I have to do. And if I don't do that, it builds up on itself, and then it ends up hurting me later. There's like explosion later, right? And that's like a whole different subject. But getting back to this guy's story, right? So this guy, I just remember how immaculate it was. And the reason why I bring it up is it's just a hobby, right? And that hobby brought that guy joy. But that guy got up every morning, went to work. He enjoyed his day. He enjoyed his job. And he did the same joy that he put into those pogs in his hobby, because that's what he did every weekend, right? He'd go hang out with other dudes that like that stuff, right? But that guy didn't come home. Okay, so he would go to work, he would enjoy his day, he would make money, and then we put it into his place, and he would put it into his little hobby, right? But that guy had an overall good life. Now, what was the opposite of me, right? Mr. Judgy Pants over here. And I'm not trying to bring this out to make myself look bad or bring weaknesses out. All I'm trying to do is paint a picture for you, right? Because a lot of the times we need to know, because we need to see it in ourselves, right? That's what we see in others is what we see in ourselves, and that's a lot of the times why we don't like what we see in others, because we don't like it in ourselves. And that's the key, guys. You got to change it within. But so his day was the opposite of my day. My day, I would go to work, I would be miserable, I would get home, and then I would numb myself with alcohol. Or I would go to my girlfriend's house. And then after I would suck energy from her like a leech, then I would go back home and drink more alcohol. And then drink myself to sleep and do the same thing over the next day. And then again, and then again. Before you know it, you guys, that eats you alive. You got no energy. You have no creativity going. So, and I say the opposite of this other guy, right? He's got the juices flowing, man. He's got the juices flowing. This guy's enjoying life. It's funny because I remember this guy, he would be sitting in his lawn, in his chair, watching the sky, and I would look at him and be like, dude, why is this guy so happy? And I was miserable, bro. You could see other people, right? It's funny now when I look at it. This is a place of this, and you'll know yourself, right? You'll know where you're at and where you lie with it. Are you getting joy and contentment in what you're doing? And it starts with the small things. Find something that you love. Find something that you get excited about. Right? Now, I started laughing right now because I thought I just had the like my third eye. I remembered a memory not too long ago where this guy came up to me, and you know, because he saw me with my tripod, and he was wondering what, I think he was wondering to see if I was actually filming like women going by or whatever. And so like he wanted to like it was his due diligence to come check to see if I was being a good citizen. Well, I mean, well, whatever. If you know, people are gonna think whatever they're gonna think at the end of the day. So I can't change people's opinions. But I remember him coming up and like, oh, he's like, what are you filming? And so I told him I have a spiritual YouTube channel or a channel though where I talk about spirituality. And then we end up talking about it. And he's like, yeah, man, I've been seeing you around. He's like, I've always been wondering, like, why are you sitting there watching the sky? Like, and I was like, he's like, is like a meteor shower gonna come, or did we miss something? And I was like, no, dude, I'm enjoying the sunset. I'm sun gazing. And I was like, and I like the birds going by. I like stuff like that, right? And I remember him giving me that look of like being dumbfounded, right? Where like he didn't quite understand what I was doing. Isn't it weird where people will look at that and think that you're strange? I'd rather look strange now, to be honest, you guys. I don't give a shit a lot of the times of what people think anymore, because I find that guy, or like how I am right now, and how that guy is, or that guy that I knew back in the day that was a Pog master, that guy was joy, man. He had joy in his life. And that's what I say to you guys. So how does this translate into the bigger scheme of things? Well, it's as simple as this. So yes, we have our 9-to-5 job, whatever it is that you do, right? Whether you're a stalker at Walmart, whether you, I don't know, whatever you do, you're a mechanic, and if it's something that's giving you a paycheck, right? But there's something more that you want. All of us want something more. It just takes some motivation to get up and do it. But how do you get motivated? How do you get that power within? Well, I just explained it to you. It starts with those small things, and it'll start a pattern to get to the bigger things. Now, if you're trying to find a job, because I say at the end of the day, it's a spiritual channel, right? It's a spiritual business at the end of the day. So you're going to have to find something that gets your heart singing. At the end of the day, we have the mind, the heart, the vessel, and the spirit, right? What we tend to do is be in here and we forget about here, right? The heart. So you're going to have to use your heart instead of your mind. And when you use your heart, think about what it is that you want to change in the world. Think about how you want to help other people. And usually, you guys, you can find this by finding out what happened to you. What has been wronged in your life? What do you feel injustice in the world? And that would be a good indication, a good starter. A lot of the times, you guys, you'll know what your strengths are. When you find out what your strengths are, you can have a good indication in what it is that you're good at. Because God has made you perfect where you can go into a field and excel at it. You're already above, your echelons above because of the skills that you have. But it's because only you have the power, the due diligence to do exactly to what it is that God has put you on this earth for, right? So what makes your heart sing? For example, Eddie, this is my YouTube channel, so you get to hear my examples, right? So for me, it's this stuff makes me sing. Coaching people, helping people, man. Having the light turn back on someone's eyes, turn back on when they were in a place of darkness, because all of us are in a place of darkness, you guys. I don't care. No one in this world, even if you're acting good, is in a perfect place. We all came from darkness at some point, especially if you're in the field of helping others, right? All we did was heal ourselves, and then in turn started to heal others. Open the heart space, and then that light turns back on, man. There's something about that gets me, that helps me, man. It fills me up. It makes me feel like I'm doing something with the earth. It makes this life freaking tolerable, because before it was mundane to me. You guys, that's why I'm saying money, looks, power, girlfriends, boyfriends, pornography, drinking, drugs, whatever it was back in the day does not serve me today. And it didn't serve me during that time period either. It sucked my soul, and it took my energy away from me, and it took my creativity away. And today, when I actually utilize the things that God has gifted me with, which is communication, compassion, empathy, love, intelligence, being able to connect, right? Being a healer, a motivator, an inspirational man, a virtuous man, a righteous man. Now I embrace all those and I help other people. I don't say this to show off. I say this because I'm owning it, right? This is who I am. But you guys, even owning it, people don't like it, right? You're going to look odd. A lot of the times people look at me like, what is it? Who is this guy, right? Who cares? When at the end of the day, when you've embraced all that good stuff in you that other people deemed or didn't see in you or second guessed you, it don't matter. Whatever makes your heart sing. So find what it is. And I'll tell you this, you guys, turn that thing into your job, your daily grind. And I promise you will find success and meet with success. I love you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe. Come on, guys, subscribe. All right, give me a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. I'll catch you guys in the next one.